Have you been wondering, where is Eddie, that gorgeous Joey of Ellie's from last year? Well, as it happens, in today's video, I'm excited to tell you that Eddie came back to visit, and you are going to see him do some amazing things that it's quite rare to see a koala doing. So I'm very excited about this video. And all of my video is free on YouTube. However, they truly are brought to you by my patrons. If you'd like to get involved, you can come over to Patreon and you can follow me for as little as $2 and throw some support in to what I'm doing here voluntarily with my own time. And I am so excited to give a woo shout out to Robert Stuglig, who is my latest patron, just joined in the past week. So excited to have you on the team. There's lots of fantastic exclusive perks, and you'll find that you can afford one level there, I'm sure. But if you can't, please make sure you always like, subscribe, share my video, leave comments, because that also is a huge way of supporting me. And I want to acknowledge the Widjabul Waiable people of the Bundjalung Nation, on whose land I live, work and play. And now let's get in and see what Eddie got up to. It's so gratifying to see a koala like Eddie come back, because we watched Ellie, his mum, grow up from about a 3 kilo or so size youngster. We watched her mature into an adult and then have Eddie. And now, look at that. You see that little budding scent gland there in the middle of that circle? It's only a tiny mark, but that is the beginning of Eddie's scent gland. So we're now reaching the point where he's come back to visit, and we're getting to see him mature into a sub-adult. Another year or so and he will be a full adult, and he will be out there wanting to mate girls. And let me tell you, he is going to be huge. Just look at the size of him there. Now, it's actually hard for you to probably judge the size of him because you don't know how big the objects around him are. But I would say that he is around 5 kilos big now. And as a male that hasn't even reached maturity yet, that is a really good size. I would say he's at least a half a kilo bigger than Hope. Maybe just a tiny bit more. But Hope is months older than Eddie as well. So that is something really amazing. And if you were watching him as he was growing, he grew really fast, and he has been a big boy right from the start. So it's not surprising to see that he's still big, but it's gratifying to know that wherever he's doing most of his eating, which must be close by, he has found somewhere that's got plenty of habitat. And that's something really important about what I do, because I'm a private property that has been dedicated as a wildlife sanctuary, and there is habitat around, but there is also a lot of cleared farmland around. So getting that connectivity and knowing it's there, that just fills my heart completely. So I came along on the quad bike, and if you know the layout of my property, Eddie is at the lower eastern end of area 11 at the moment. I've stopped my quad bike and started filming, and he obviously knows I'm there because you saw he was looking at me. But I started to see him now. It doesn't look like he's doing much, but I look at that and I think, he's actually thinking about getting on the move. So I thought, I'm just going to sit and watch him for a little bit. The more I sat here watching him, the more excited I get, because I just can't believe how much he looks like Ellie and how fantastic he's looking. I'll put a photo of Ellie at a similar age to him up there. Now, I know all koalas kind of look alike, but I mean, they don't as well. And those big ears, that head shape, the eye shape, everything. Just, oh, he's just a mini me male Ellie. And it's amazing. And I have a feeling that Elmo, her Joey from this year, is going to be similar. Now you can see that I'm not as close to him as what I look. I am a little way, about 10 metres back from the tree, and he is 7 or 8 metres up the tree. I've moved just a little bit in my position, and again, I'm watching him, and because I know koala behaviour and body language quite well, I can see that he's not just sitting there looking around. He looks to me like he is trying to decide what he's going to do next. So I would make a guess and say that he had been asleep and has not long woken up and is probably getting a little bit hungry. And he's got two main choices. He can go up this tree that he's in and have a feed, or he can go down this tree and choose a different tree to eat from. So the fact that he keeps looking down and around him makes me wonder if that's the choice that he's going to make. Is he going to go down, or is he going to go up? What do you think he's going to do? Those little flicks of the ears just tell me that his brain is ticking over some decision making there. And a little bit of a scratch. There's nothing like having a bit of a scratch on the side of your face, is there, to get a final decision going. And I think he's reached the decision. And here he goes. Down the tree was the winning decision. Oh, bit of a slip then. Some of that bark is quite loose because it's peeling off. I've really loved this too because he has been watching me, but I had been sitting still for at least 15 minutes before he came down the tree. So he's familiar enough with the quad bike, even though he hasn't been living here for months, and familiar enough with me being part of the landscape, that the fact that I'm just sitting still has made him decide that he can ignore me and go do his own thing. Now, when koalas get down on the ground, they're really quite ungainly. They are so designed for jumping and leaping through the canopies in the top of a forest that when they get on the ground, it's like, it just does not look anywhere near as good. Look at him just sitting there, just taking stock, making sure that he feels safe before he comes out, because he can turn in a flash and jump back into that tree. But he says, okay, I'm going to do it. Oh, all that long grass, and off he goes. There you go. We don't often get to see a koala moving along the ground. So this is great stuff. And look at that clean, dry bottom. He's moving up the path that I ride my quad bike on, and then boom, he's off the park. So I sat for a minute, held my breath, and then I got off the quad bike, and I am now doing the Elmer Fudd, shh, we're hunting wabbits, and I'm slowly trying to sneak up the path and see where the hell did he go. Right now, he went into the gully that separates Area 11 and Area 12. It's all full of sallywattle bushes, and finally I found him. There he is. He's gone up a young forest red gum right on the other side of the gully. So I thought, right, That means I'm going to have to ride up through area 10, back down through area 4, into area 5, across area 12, and come up the other side of the gully to be able to see him. And there he is. I'm on the other side of the gully now, and he's up there and he's munching away. Eddie grew up in this area. He would have eaten in these trees at times with his mum Ellie, so he's completely familiar with where he is and what he's munching on. And we can definitely tell Eddie is a boy. Look at how limber those hips are though as he reaches up, and that wide, wide belly. 2 meters of appendix inside there, as well as stomach, small intestines, large intestines, liver, pancreas, kidneys, all of that stuff. That's why koalas have such a big pot belly, because they just have so many meters of organ inside there to digest all of these tough eucalyptus leaves with. I moved a little bit more, and now he's climbing a little bit more. I'm trying to find a spot where I can actually get a good clear view through to him, but I think you can see how difficult my job can be, because there is quite a canopy of these young trees here. These trees that he's in are all self-sown trees, so that means that the big mature trees around were pollinated, dropped their seed, and their seed have grown naturally. And it looks to me like the koalas are pretty happy with the scrummy food that makes. Don't you love how thin that little branch is that he's sitting on, and yet he's just cool as a cucumber having a scratch. I think koalas have got a pretty good sense of what branches can hold them up and what can't. And I've noticed that they tend to climb a bit and then they kind of just very slowly sink back onto these thin branches, and they're kind of testing the weight, and they seem to be able to tell. Looks like he's, just going to have a bit of a grooming session in between courses and maybe go up a bit higher into that canopy a bit further to get those leaves. It's funny, there's all those leaves there, and yet getting a feed in those trees actually requires quite a bit of skill. So I was so excited to see Eddie back and to be able to get some footage of him to share with you, and look at him sitting up the top like, yeah, you can't see me. Well, we can a little bit, but you're right, Eddie, we can't see a lot of you. So I think I'll have to leave him at that, and that means, guess what? You have made it to the end of yet another Koala Gardens video. So would you please write in the comments below, come back again soon, Eddie. Oh, thanks for watching. There is definitely lots more great video coming your way very soon. Another way you can support what I do here is to pop over to my Redbubble store. Anytime you're looking for maybe a pair of socks, a new phone cover, t-shirt, hoodie, anything, just pop over and see if there's something there that will suit you, because there's over 60 pieces of merchandise and lots of designs that I've made. There was something there for everyone.